Okay. Did you hear that? Or that was just
Yeah.
on my end? Okay. All
Uh,
right. Cool. All right. So we will get started. Hey, everybody. What's up? It's your girl, Ashley Moore, the owner of Be More Vending, as well as the founder and creator of this podcast, More Into It. I'm definitely excited. This episode will forever be my baby because this is my very first episode. This is 001. It's been a long time coming, just in the business in general, because I'm very particular. I like my stuff done a certain way. So I've taken my time and started with the vending, and now I'm here doing the podcast as well. So I definitely want to give a shout out to everybody who has supported me since day one. I know I've been all over the place, but I do appreciate it, and I hope you guys continue to support me. Follow me on my social media, Instagram, TikTok, as well as Facebook. But to get things rolling, this is the very first episode of More Into It. Now let's get into it. So today I like to do an introduction of who I'm interviewing. Today I have Mr. Swann. I'll let him really do like an introduction for himself, but just to kind of give you a recap, we do work for both of us work for the state of Maryland, and I believe that's where we met. And I just so I don't take over what he's going to say, I'll let him introduce himself, and then we can just go ahead and get started from there.
yeah, my name is William Swann. Yes, we definitely met at the state of Maryland. Husband and father, brother, Christian, IT, functional analyst, trainer, videographer. Like I do a few things.
Okay, awesome. So yes, you did name quite a few. We're only going to be able to cover a couple of them tonight, but just to kind of touch on the training. So that's kind of how our relationship is with the training. You do training. What kind of training do you do?
Yeah, so personal training. But the main thing I really start out with is I try to get people to understand that there is more to them than what they think they are. So I really start with the mental side of it. Then once we get past the mental side, then we can get to the physical.
Okay, yes, and I will have to agree because we just had this conversation earlier where I'm like, I don't feel as though I can do certain things, but once you get past that whole mental state of I can't, it's always I can, and you push through. So I definitely over the past year have been doing things that I would have never thought that I would be able to do, or just never thought I would be doing, period, like getting a gym membership. So now I do have a gym membership with LA Fitness, but we work out at Planet Fitness. So when did you start like incorporating fitness into your day-to-day life? Like when did this start? Did something happen that made you want to, get healthy, or have you just always been healthy?
I've always been like into my body. Now I didn't really get serious into it until so 2019. It was a necessity. Like I had to I didn't have a job, so I had to like kind of like make ends meet with different hustles, and that just happened to be one of the hustles. But it probably should have been something that I come into a long time ago. It was just right there. Like I've always been into my body, always been into working out, but I didn't know the science behind it. I just used to do things like 100 push-ups, but I didn't know what they were for. Just do things. You know what I'm saying? I was always like a really good athlete in school, so it just kind of came natural.
Okay. What did you do? I know you said you were an athlete in school. What kind of sports did you play?
Yeah, I play football and ran track.
Okay. So you're pretty
Yeah,
fast, which I
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
So that means you like running, right?
No, I like sprinting. I don't like running.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I was
It's a,
sprint.
it's a
I don't
difference.
like. Yeah, it's a big difference. Like
Okay.
I don't do like the 3,500, 2,500. I used to do the 100-yard dash and the 55-yard dash and the 200 meters. Yep.
Okay. See, I was not big on sports in school. I just
Yeah.
literally went to school because I had to go to school. Outside of that, it was no, I just was there. That's about it. But how long have you been doing the actual training? So I know you said you kind of worked on yourself in 2019. When did the training come into play?
Pretty much 2019. I took a class with uh, a gym that I used to be a membership that I used to have a membership with. It's called Brick Bodies. and they were giving a ACE, which is American Conference for Exercise certification class, and I took that class, and pretty much been doing it ever since.
Okay. So how often do you train? Like weekly, bi-weekly, or is it up to the person?
Pretty much every day. Like I train every day, like because I'm training people, and in the midst of it, like I like to train people at the like I like to train with people. I don't like to sit there and just train them. I feel like if you do it together, like it's more of a family type of situation when you do it. It's easy to do it together. I like that. I really do.
Okay.
So that's how I do it.
Nice. So you said you train every day. Like,
Yeah.
how do you find time for yourself? Like, do you have certain days that you go by yourself, or is it just you training everybody? Well, first of all, how many people
So
are you training right now?
three, three
Three.
people.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have enough time because of course I have a full-time job also, and I'm a full-time husband and dad. So the
Right.
kids have activities, and I have activities, and then you don't want to you want to keep that balance. You don't want to be doing putting too much of your time here and there. You want to like kind of mix it up and have it balanced. So the best thing to do is have a schedule. That's what I do. I have a schedule. So it's if this is supposed to happen on this day, and this has to happen on this day, I can't deviate from it. So I
Oh,
can't take. So I'm up to three people. I can't take anymore right now because if I do, then it's going to take away from my kids or my family.
right. So I was going to ask you, how do you balance everything, being a husband, being a father, working a regular 9 to 5, as well as whatever else you're doing on the side to bring in a little extra income? So you said you have a schedule, you have to stick to this schedule. It seems like you have a pretty tight schedule, I'm sure. So that's why you are only limiting yourself to 3 right now, or do you think it'll open up in the future?
The only way to open up in the future if I get my own gym and they can turn it to my own 9 to 5. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's the only way. But that is the goal. So yes, so eventually it will open up. But as of right now, I just don't have time.
To do everything. No, I totally get it. And like you said, you want to be able to focus on the people that you're training and make sure you're thorough with that.
Right.
Now, as far as your I don't want to say recommendation. What do you give advice for people who are trying to get in the gym? They're trying to get fit, but they're struggling right now.
They just need to get in there. You got to get in there, and they got to have. They just really got to get in there. Just walk in the building.
Just do it like
Walk in the
Nike. You just gotta do it.
building. Yeah, because you're gonna have a million reasons not to go in. But the
That was
the
that was me.
the main yeah the main reason you should get in there is for you. You know what I mean? Look, like try to have like a forward thinking mind. Like okay, say okay, if you think right now that you need to do it, then you most likely you need to do it. And you're not going to if you don't start now, you're going to keep piling up these excuses, and it's going to be the same excuse next year. Like I should have done it. Like, I should have done it. Next thing you looking 5 years down the line. You know what I
And
mean? You
you
should have
still
been
ain't do
started.
it. Right.
Still ain't doing it yet.
So that's funny because that's pretty much how I was. And he was like, come work out, like just work out. And I'm like, no, no. And then COVID hit, and I think I kept getting sick. I didn't get COVID at first, but like I kept getting sick. And so he was like, you really just need to work out. And so I'm like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and work out. So let me tell y'all something. When I first went and worked out with Will, I took one of my friends and we were outside working out, and I literally was dying. Like I thought this was the end of me. I went in the car, called my husband, like I just want to come home. And then
Mm-hmm.
I look up and I see Will walking towards me and my friend China walking towards me. And I was like, please don't let them see me. Please don't let them see me. Knowing that they knew I was in the car and they was walking towards me. So I was sitting there like, oh my goodness. And he was like, all right, you good? You good now? Like, come on. But I had every excuse in the world to not come to the gym. But then I was like, you know what? Let me just get healthy. Let me do what I need to do and get myself together, because I was the type that would start the gym, but then I wouldn't finish. And I start, then I would stop. That's why I said I would never get a membership. But
Look
like
at
I
you
said,
now.
look at me now. We work out 3 times a week, and I try not, just for that particular reason, I try not to miss any training, or if I do, like we try to make it up, because I know how easy it is to stop your routine. Like if you just had that one day that you don't go, And honestly, I feel as though like that's my time. Like I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I have a 9 to 5, I have my side business myself. So this is like the time of the week that I actually get for myself. And that's why I be like, I refuse to deviate from that schedule at all. I cannot give it up. Absolutely no. And I just got done doing lacrosse with my kids. So I was definitely busy too. So I totally understand. Like you have to have a schedule. You have to stick to your schedule and make it work out. But I think that's some really good advice for people. Just do
Yeah.
it like Nike. Just go ahead and do it, get it done with, and you'll feel so much better. Like I see results, I feel a lot better, and things like that. So I definitely appreciate you on that tip.
Yeah. Feel stronger, more comfortable in your
Stronger
skin.
tone, yes.
Comfortable in your
And we've
skin.
been fasting as well.
Yeah.
So it's just totally, it's a lot of different aspects, trying to eat healthier and things like that, which is so hard, but because I love food.
Yeah.
But I mean, we
We
just,
all do.
yes, but I love food. I probably shouldn't be eating. So, but we just want to go ahead and do it. Just, give it a try. You'll feel so much better, have more energy and things like that. So I definitely appreciate you explaining that part. Now, let's go into, I know you said something about music is like kind of touch on that. How does that play a part of your life?
Yeah. So started doing music in what was it? It was 2000. Started doing music in 2000. Went all through school not knowing that I had like the gift to do it. I
Mm-hmm.
was like younger. I can remember when I was younger, when I was like probably my son's age, like 10, maybe 8, and I would get these beats in my head, and I had no idea why I would get these beats in my head. But later on down the line, I found out, of course, that I could do the music thing. But yeah, man, it's one of those therapeutic things. It's just like the gym for me. Like when I go into the booth and I make a good song, or well, make a song. It doesn't even have to be good, but if I make a song, it's like, man, it just feels great to make a song because I feel like that's like part of my legacy. Like I'm leaving that. If I'm not here, my music is still here. So like my
Yeah.
kids, my grandkids, and whoever. Like that's just one of those things that can't be taken away. Once you make the song, it's here forever.
Okay, that's a good way to look at it. I never even thought about it like that. So that's always a plus to have something to pass down, to be remembered by, which I'm sure you'll be remembered by other things as well. But definitely the music. You guys have to check it out. I do not know. You want to tell them like the album names or maybe the
Yeah.
most recent song?
The most recent song I did was Freedom. Um, then I had the song before that I did was Come Back Love, and then before that was Resurrection. Now all videos you can see them on YouTube. Resurrection has like 100,000 views, 125,000 views. Uh, Freedom has like 80 something thousand views. And I
Mm-hmm.
think, oh, I'm sorry, Killzone. Killzone has like
Hold on. I was about to
18,000.
say, I think you're missing one.
Yeah, yeah, man. So it's cool. And that's the videography side of it too. I started doing my own videos last year and I didn't know that I could do that, which is really cool. Like, COVID-19 was bad for a lot of reasons, but it's also good for a lot of reasons. People are finding these different hidden talents that they have, and I found
For
one.
sure.
You know what I mean? So it's really dope to do stuff like that.
So before we get to the video part, as far as the music, was that something that was in your family? I know you said you were like younger, like around 10, but was that something like that was in your family? That does your family, have talent in music, or how did it's just you
Yeah.
just was blessed to
So
have
I
that?
used to I used to always hear about my uncles and like they had a band and like as far as like I was in church, so I was always on like a choir or my parents were on the
So wait,
choir. So music was
hold on, we're gonna have to stop right there. So you be singing. So you gotta let them know, are you rapping? Are you singing? Like, which is it? Like, or is it both?
definitely definitely rapping. Like, but I used to, when I was younger, I used to sing a little bit until puberty hit.
Let us
And
find
I
out that you
can't
hitting
sing
notes
no
and
more.
stuff. Okay.
No, not now. Not now. Not now. Not now. Nope. But yeah, so it's pretty much ran in the family, certain aspects of it. Not the rapping part, but like music has always been on both sides of the family, my dad's side and my mom's side. So yep.
Okay, so you're
I think
not the only one in your family that
no,
does the music.
no, chemistry is not chemistry, is a student name. my cousin, man. My dad always tells me about him. He's a jazz player. Good
Oh,
jazz
okay.
player. I forgot his name. Oh my gosh, I'm talking about chem chemistry. I almost lost it. Not chem chemistry. When it comes to me, I'll let you know.
But you said you're not the only one. Like, it's just your siblings or your parents. Do they
Yeah.
sing?
So both of my brothers rap. My brother that my brother that's right under me and my brother that's my youngest brother, they both rap. So yeah,
Okay.
and they dope too. Real dope. Matter of fact, they're like my favorite artists. Because I don't really listen to the radio. Like so I listen to like the only time I really hear music is if someone was to tell me, hey, you need to go listen to this song. And
Okay.
so then I go and listen to songs, and it's a lot of dope artists out here, but I pretty much don't listen to the radio. But my two of my favorite artists are my brothers.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. So, like, can we be expecting a CD soon with your brothers or a song, a collab, something?
So we've already collabed already on like because they have their their projects that they have done, and they will be on this new one. This will probably be my last one. It's called Versatility, and it's pretty much a like a conscious kind of like slash like gospel album. That's what it will be.
Okay. And you said it's gonna be your last one?
Yeah, I mean, at least that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of it's a lot of energy to do it. You know what I mean? A lot of energy, and it's like if I don't have energy to do something, I just stop it. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
that's one of my prayers that I pray about. Like whatever God wants me to do, like give me some type of fire. You know what I mean? Fire to do it. So right
Mhm.
now, like pretty much my fire is to like help people. That's
Okay.
it's not how like now back in the early like 2000 like maybe like 2012 like music was like my all, you know what I mean, all that's all I wanted to do. But now it's like it's more about family and helping people, and you know what I'm saying, like keeping people on the right path. Like it's more so about that. It's not about now if the music does like the only time I really do music is when I'm inspired to do it. Like,
Okay.
and it usually don't take that. Like, I just can't sit and just write music anymore. Like, I can't do it. Like, because I don't have energy to do, I don't have time to waste. That's and I feel like if
Oh,
I
so you
feel
don't
like
have
it,
extra time, you saying?
I
Like,
don't,
so
I don't.
outside of your schedule, like you said, you can't really too much. You don't have no wiggle room to deviate outside of that.
I don't. The only time I ever really had time to write music is when I'm driving home from work. That's it. So that's like a
Is that when you're
15-minute.
inspired or
Right. So listen, so if I'm not inspired, then it's just wasted time. You know what I mean? But I hear like I listen to beats when I'm driving home. But
Mhm.
like if I don't get something in that 15 minutes, then it's not I won't get it until the next day. Like that's pretty much how it is. Like you won't see me writing in the house anymore. Like I have so many books when I used to
Oh,
just write in my
wow.
pen out like that, but I don't have it anymore. But I still get inspired. Like so, what happens now with me is like it's pretty much like current events. Like if something happens that that's like it's like current events that inspire me. So if
Okay.
something happens, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I need to write about that because
It's a lot
people are
going
feeling
on.
this way about it. Or like on Freedom, I wrote Freedom in like 30 minutes.
So tell people who don't know what freedom is about. Tell them, like, kind of give them the rundown.
Freedom, Freedom is a song that I wrote pretty much during the George Floyd trial. Like I wrote it because it inspired me and it inspired me.
Okay.
It's pretty much about how Black Lives Matter, and we really didn't have like a chant. You know what I mean? Like so it's a chant on Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, and I'm basically talking about the climate. You know what I mean? And it's one of my favorite songs actually. And I did the video for it, and like I said, it has 80,000 views, man, which is really really cool and something that my kids and my grandkids can see when I'm not even here anymore. That's the age that we live in. Like I would love to
Right.
see what my great great great
Back
grandmother
then.
looked like. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're
Definitely.
gonna know how I look. They're gonna know how I sound. You know what I mean? It's pretty
Mhm.
dope to be living in the time that we live in.
And of course, you don't realize until you're older how special those type of things are. So I'm
Right.
sure your kids will definitely enjoy that. And like you said, being able to pass that down to your grandkids for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's awesome that, like you said, you get inspired by current events. I know that was just around the George Floyd time. It was just a big, even now, it's still just a big, thing in the times that we're living in. So it's
Yeah.
awesome that you were able to touch on that. And the really nice thing is, so like I said, we both work for the state of Maryland. And they love his music so much that they actually send out emails like whenever he comes out with a video and tell everybody go look at it, check it out. So it's pretty nice that they're able to showcase your talent at work, and let everybody see it. And definitely I've seen the views. He's not lying. The views are bananas. And it's not even like over like a month or 2 months. Like this is like as soon as he drops it, like everybody's on it. So definitely the talent is there for sure. So speaking about talent, now let's talk about the video. How did we get this? Like, did you take a class? Like, how did you end up being like, okay, I'm going to record my own video?
No, so I didn't take a class. The funny thing about it is one of my guys who was actually my engineer. He's also a videographer. And for the longest, I was asking probably about 6 months. Probably about 6 months, we were planning to shoot Resurrection. That's my first video I was going to shoot ever, which is crazy now that I think about it because I've been rapping for that many years and I never thought about doing a video. Yeah. So anyway, every month, he gave me the price. He's like, yeah, this is how much it's going to be. I'm like, all right, so I have it to you next month. Every time I would go to give him the money or be ready to give him the money, like something would happen. Something crazy, like you need some tires or something like that. Like every month. So it was like 4 months straight. I'm like, man, I got tired of bluffing. I'm like, he gonna think I'm bluffing because every month I'm like, oh yeah. And it was like me and him have like a really good relationship. You know what I mean? And when you get into like business and stuff like that, it's all about relationships. You know what I mean? So
relationships.
So what ended up happening was I talked to one of my other guys. I was just inspired to like get a drone. I don't know why. Like I think God just told me to get a drone, and so I got a drone. Before I got the drone, I asked one of my guys, "Hey, which drone do you have?" But I saw one of my guys with a drone. I said, "Which drone do you have?" And he said, "Look, he didn't tell me what type of drone it was. He just told me the manufacturer of the drone. Once he told me the manufacturer of the drone, I kind of like looked into it and I did all reviews and stuff like that. So I ended up getting my own drone. And once I flew it the first time, I was like, oh, I can do this myself.
Okay.
So, but I didn't think it was going to come out the way that it did. And man, that's the craziest thing how God works. But like when I went and shot Resurrection, I didn't write anything down. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew I had to do something. The only thing I had was my homeboy said, hey, bro, like I see you rapping to yourself in the mirror. That's the only thing I had prior to shooting anything. So he said, so when he said that, I was like, all right, cool. But other than that, I didn't have anything. So I went out, Resurrection took me like 2 days to shoot it. Yeah, about 2 days to shoot it. I went out and just started shooting, man, and put it together. And I can't believe it came together the way that it did because I had no direction at all. So, yeah, to God be the glory, really, because it shouldn't have came out the way that it came out. Like just because I had no background, no school,
right?
I never had edited a video before, like none of that. So it's like for me to have done all of that stuff, it's kind of amazing.
So that's how like you just was meant to do that because like even just looking at me, like before we started this, I'm like, how do I get this? How do I do this? So I can never myself do something like that. But that you just have that talent. Like that has to be just like natural talent. And I think that's so awesome that you are able to do that. Because I'd have been like, I need somebody to record it. I'm not able to do this. There's no way. No one typically thinks like, all right, well, let me do this myself. Like the only person I know that did that was like probably Beyonce when they shot one of her videos. I think she used like an iPhone, but I'm pretty sure she had assistance with that. Like you had no assistance. You had the drone. You said you looked up the information. And that's one thing that I want to point out. So you did the research. When it comes to business, I like to tell people like, listen, you have to put in the work. Like I could tell you how to, do bending till I'm blue in the face. But if you don't sit down and actually kind of do your own research, like you will never fully understand it. Like, unfortunately, that's the age that we want to, that people that we live in, people just want something quick, fast, and
Microwave.
yeah, like it's no, you still gotta put that work in. I could give you
Yeah,
a blueprint, but you still gotta make it your own and see how it's gonna work for you, because what work for you may not work for me or vice versa. So you definitely have to do your research, see what works
correct.
best for you. And so I'm pretty sure that aided you in getting the video done.
It did.
And
Because when I look for stuff, right now, I am a review guy. I can remember distinctly. Me and my wife were in BJ's one day, right? And we were there to get an arm, right? And when I tell you, once I started looking at the reviews for arms, like it took me like 45 minutes to figure out what this arm, because I just wanted to get the best one. You know what I mean? So I'm
right.
definitely going to do my due diligence, man. So I think everyone should do their due diligence like that, because like you said, like what works for someone might not work for you. You know what I mean? It might be perfect for them. It might not be perfect for you. You might be able to take certain aspects of it and make it perfect for you. You know what I mean? But you
People just
definitely
don't
have
want
to
to put
do
the
your
work
due.
in. They don't want to put
Yeah,
the work in. And that's where you're going to always fall short. Like anything is achievable. You just have to really put that work in. And I tell people, like I said, I did so much research before I started inventing. And when it came to the podcast, like I'm like, okay, I want to do these podcasts. Even the lives, when I was doing the lives on IG, like I listened to podcasts all day long. My favorite podcast is Ronnie Brown. Shout her out. But she always like motivates me, pumps me up, and I'll be like, all right, I'm ready to take on any business. I don't care what it is. Like,
yeah,
so I love her podcast, but like I listen to podcasts all day because I just want to perfect it. I like I don't want to say I'm a perfectionist, but when it comes to this, when I'm putting my money and my time and my effort in, like I need it to be a certain way. And
yeah.
I'm putting this out for hopefully millions to see. I'm not trying to look crazy. So like
That's the
I
goal.
envision this being my first podcast, and down the line, like a year from now, looking back, like, look at that background. Look at where I was
Yeah,
at. Like,
yeah.
hopefully things will be completely different for the better. But this will do for episode 001.
Mm. It's just a very special episode.
Yes.
I thank you for having me as your first episode. Like this is like humbling.
Yeah, definitely. Well, first of all, you have been there and seen the whole process since day one. I'm like, I think I want to do vending. Like you
Yeah,
said, the whole COVID has definitely opened up. It's very unfortunate, the whole situation.
yeah,
Unfortunately, me and my kids did catch COVID.
yeah,
But that also made me be like, you know what, I definitely still need to take care of myself. I still need to do
yeah,
certain things. But also it opened up business. Like this, I started in March.
yeah,
Like we're the government's giving us money. Like, what are we doing with it? Like outside of, like I said, I love food. So I'm like, outside of eat, like what am I doing with my money? So I'm
right.
like, okay, let me think of something how I can multiply, how I can build. What legacy am I gonna leave my kids?
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I was able to help them to get started in it, but definitely opened up a lot of doors, I think, for a lot of people. So as unfortunate as it is dealing with COVID, I know a lot of people have passed away and a lot of people are
yeah,
dealing with COVID themselves, but still, this has definitely opened up a lot of doors for people,
yeah.
a lot of opportunities.
When you see all
Um,
that free money the government giving out,
Free money like every month. That's
yeah,
why I
every
said, I was
month,
like, what am I doing with this money? Like after the first time they gave us money, I was like, okay, where did it go? Like I said, I love eating. So I'm like, okay, I know I spent it on some food or something, but I'm like, let
right?
me do something else with it. And I always say, I think I say on every episode that I've done previously, or interview, growing up, business, like owning your own business, wasn't something that was big. Like it
Mm-mm.
was, you go to school, you get an education, you go to college, you get a degree, and then you go work
Mm.
for somebody else.
For
And
30 years.
yeah, and then you retire. And at this point, like that wasn't what I envisioned for my kids. I didn't,
Yeah,
I no longer envisioned that for myself. Like I would love to at some point just be able to be like, okay, I can just do my vending, or I
yeah,
can make a profit off my podcast. But I wanted
yeah,
to be able to leave something for my kids, because I want them to see, like, you don't have to go to school and be thousands of dollars in debt
and
and
that, yeah,
still barely can get the job that you thought that you were going to get. There's so much more out there, and it's no fault of our parents, but that's just what they were taught, so they taught that to us.
right,
And unfortunately,
yeah,
even a lot of Black people, we don't have that.
yeah,
Okay, where we were growing up and our parents was like, okay, go ahead, get your own business and stuff.
right,
Teachers may not have told you that you could or thought that it was possible, but we
yeah,
definitely knocking
Yeah,
down
we
barriers.
are. We doing
Yeah,
exactly what we supposed to be doing. So
exactly.
we aren't that far off from, honestly. Like, you really want to be honest, like, we're not that far from slavery. You know what I mean? So if we're not that far from slavery, then of course it's some things that we have to let loose, or things that we have to learn. You know what I mean? Or unlearn. So
For sure.
my great grandmother was a slave, and so my great great grandmother was a sharecropper. So that
Okay.
means you know what I mean? So we are really, really close. So of course my grandmother, uh, well, my grandfather, he worked 30 years at wherever, at a steel factory, you know what I'm saying?
Or
And my
somebody
dad kind
else.
of, right. And then my dad kind of did the same thing. He's kind of entrepreneur a little bit because he has like a trade or whatever. So of course,
Okay.
me, I'm not trying to work for nobody for 30 years. And then my kids, they're going to look at me. You know what I mean? So we
That's
definitely
that
break
example.
cycles and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. And I definitely see you doing it. I know you mentioned you would like to open up your own gym. So I think that's awesome. I will definitely leave LA Fitness and become a membership if
I
you do
appreciate
that. The
it.
support is already there. So you have one member. I don't know, I'm pretty sure you'll get more, but because I know we've talked before and you said, oh, somebody wants to, train, but being as though your schedule is just so tight. So I know that would
Yeah.
definitely be
I hate that. I hate that I had to turn down people. Like, but I had probably had to this year. I probably turned down about four or five clients just because I
okay.
don't have time. But it's like, and I don't like that because when people come to you,
Mhm.
that mean that they trust you, and that means that they need you. You know what I mean? And I just hate that I had to turn people away, but I just don't have time.
Right, right. Like you said, you definitely want to be able to, still balance the work,
Yeah,
your family, and also you just have to have time for yourself. Like I think that's
mhm,
very important. I'm starting to learn. That's
yeah,
why I said for me, my time to myself is or for myself is
yeah,
working out. Like that's literally my time. That's me time. And everybody be like, when I say that, people be like, what? What? And I'm like,
yeah,
honestly, if you would have asked me a year ago, I would have been looking at you
yeah,
the same way, like
yeah,
the gym. What?
yeah.
Like that
It's
was
a stress
never
reliever. Like, it's a stress reliever
it.
when you go to the gym. Yeah, it's a stress
I be
reliever.
tired and I be like, I'm sore, I'm in pain, but it's cool because the abs they about to be busting through. So 2022 better watch out. Even though I'm gonna give
Yeah.
it whatever body I'm giving is gonna take
Mhm.
it, but hopefully it got an ab or two peeking out. Like I
Mhm.
don't but just to kind of wrap some questions up, just I know you said you love the music. You do the rapping. You said you was singing. Um, and I just
back
feel like
back in the day.
it's
Please
right.
don't get me on some R&B type of situation. Back in the day, not
Back in
now.
the day, you was on the choir, hitting
Yeah,
them notes,
definitely,
hitting them notes.
definitely.
Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that. That's definitely, but it just shows the talent. It shows okay, so I can sing, but I can also rap.
Yeah.
So that's where the talent comes into play again. But if we was going back to the 80s, can I say 80s? I don't know. You want to say your age? Can I say 80s? Okay, if I
Yeah.
was going back to the 80s, who was your favorite rapper?
Oh, in the '80s, it was Big Daddy Kane.
Big Daddy Kane. Okay.
Yeah,
What's
Big Daddy
what's,
Kane.
what's your favorite song? For those who
He,
who may not know who he is or listen to
so
the
Big
music.
Daddy Kane, right? Big Daddy Kane was the first cat that I saw that kind of made it cool. Like, he wasn't like he could dance, right? But he was like a really good rapper. Like,
Okay.
usually he wasn't soft like back in the day, like you would see like Kid and Play, and you know what I'm saying? Like
Uh-huh.
that, they was considered rappers, but they wasn't considered like hard rappers. Like Big Daddy Kane could dance and all that, and then he would eat you up on the mic. So like he was like really smooth. And then it transitioned from like my first dude that I really liked was Big Daddy Kane, and then it went to like Biggie. You know what I'm saying? So like the people who I really like is like total MCs for
Okay.
real. Yeah. But definitely Kane. Big Daddy Kane was the first dude I saw. I was like, yeah, this dude, he's nice.
Right.
He real nice. Yep.
So that kind of opened up the whole world of rapping for you.
Yeah, hip hop. Well, no, I didn't start rapping until 2000.
So who was your favorite rapper back then? Like who was like, you know what? If he can do it, I can do it. Like who was it?
So yeah, like I said, it was in the 80s, it was Big Daddy
Still,
Kane, but I didn't know that I could rap. I didn't even try to rap until the year 2000. That's when I started. Then I was like, oh, I can do this,
okay.
which was crazy. Yeah. So actually, it was my homeboys, like my homeboys, that actually put me in a booth. And when they put me in a booth, I kind of fell in love with it. I'm like, oh, what's this? And they was like, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do. I'm like, oh, this is nice. And then it just all came together. I'm like,
Okay.
wow, like I belong here. You know what I mean? The first time I stepped into a booth. Now I wasn't good. Like, I was sporadic with my flow and all of that. Everything was super duper fast and all that. But as far as like the feel and being able to write, yeah, that was in 2000. That's right. That's when my son was born. When I found out that my son was born, that's when my pen got. And I just started writing everything. I had something to write about, like this new
Right.
life that was coming. Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
some inspiration. Yep.
So is any songs about your kids that you have on any of your CDs?
So I have a song called "Come Back, Love." And the second verse is about my daughter. Like the second
Okay.
verse on "Come Back, Love" is about, like, some of it is about my daughter. Yeah, yeah. So
So that's
definitely,
kind of
like,
your inspiration.
yeah, probably all of my music you're gonna hear all about my kids, my family and stuff like that. Because I only rap about stuff that I knew. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't a drug dealer, so you're not
I'm
gonna
about to say,
want
so
to
you're
hear
not like
drugs.
those ones that be frightened, like I was on the corner selling
Yeah,
dope.
nah, nah, never, man. And I was blessed to not have to go that route. My mom and
Okay.
dad. I'm not saying that other people didn't have their mom and dad, but like my mom and dad I lived with both my mom and my dad. And my dad wasn't hearing none of that. I lived in Baltimore City. I lived on Park Heights, and my dad wasn't hearing none of that selling drugs. No, it wasn't happening. Like, he'd have killed me. You know what I mean? But I didn't have it. I didn't even want to do anything like that. You know what I mean? It just wasn't in me. And I'm not saying, I'm not judging anyone, but it wasn't in me to want to hurt people. I'm not saying that's what people want to do, but I just couldn't see myself selling my
I don't think
people
people look at it like
something.
that.
Yeah, but
I
I
don't,
do.
because I would have never been like, oh, well, I mean, I personally wouldn't do it myself, but
Yeah,
I would have never been like, I'm not going to sell drugs because I don't want to hurt anybody. Like, so for you to
yeah.
even just have that thought like that is
It's
definitely,
totally different, right? Like I just
yeah.
couldn't do it. Like I look at our people, and we so beautiful, black people. And it's like, why would I, like, I see, back then I saw what the drugs were doing, you know what I mean? And I could kind of forecast what the city would look like now. And
Mhm.
it's exactly what it looks like. This is boarded up houses, no life, all this, just because of what crack did. You know what I mean? So there's no way I'd have been able to
Right.
do that to
It's
my
super
people.
sad, especially in Baltimore. Like, I don't
Yeah,
think
it
people
is.
realize how bad it kind of was at one
It
point.
is.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
I mean,
is
like,
still.
if people, I wish people could see the love that we used to have back in the 80s. Like, I'm telling you, like, the streets would be filled. It was so cool back in the day. It was
Yeah.
so cool back in the day, but now it's like, man, it's no love. Like, respect is gone. It's just, I just wish people could see it in the 80s, man. It was just nice. I was a little kid, but it was just all love back then, man.
Look, that's why I said I don't know if you want to be telling your age or what. Like,
No. See, look, I'm blessed, man. A lot of kids from Baltimore didn't make it past 18 and 19,
right.
and I'm 43. You know, 43. So I done lived
That's
double that.
definitely a blessing because
Yeah.
I mean, I personally grew up, I was born here, but grew up in Pennsylvania.
Mm.
But I know, my mom, a lot of people she grew up with are no longer here. I listen to my husband, a lot of friends, like he losing a lot of them, as we
All the
speak.
time.
So it's definitely is really, really sad. And to me, it just be devastating whether I know him or not. I just be like, oh my goodness, it's crazy. But
Yeah.
so I said times kind of have definitely changed. And so it is
Yeah.
definitely a blessing to be able to live to be like I'm 43. Like
Dads with beards. I'm a dad. You know what I mean? That's what
we
beards
say
are.
dads with beards are better. Okay.
Yeah, that's what beards are better. You know what I mean? I'm so happy that I'm able to be a dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a blessing to
Right.
be a dad. Like, it was my mom had 5 boys, and two of us are gone. Like, two of us are gone because of the streets. So it's three of us left. So, like, I look at things like that, and I'm like, man, I'm just blessed to be here. Like, my brother, who we just had a memorial for, I mean, well, a visual, Candlelight visual for,
Okay.
last week. Like when he was murdered, he had 3 sons. Like one of his sons was like probably like 7 when he died, 7 and 10, and then I think the
Yeah.
oldest maybe like 4 to 8. You know what I'm saying? So it's 3 boys without their dad. You know, he's my brother been gone since 2006. He's been gone for 15 years. So man, so it's life is a beautiful thing to be alive.
I was about to say, especially to be like alive, and I know that you have 2 boys and a daughter, so it's definitely awesome that you are able to be there. I mean, the kids, they definitely need their father in their lives.
Yeah,
So it's definitely a blessing to be able to do that.
definitely.
Um, I've got like 2 more questions for you. If you could describe yourself in 3 words, what would it be?
Oh, wow. 3 words. I'm loyal. Uh, mm, I'm a Christian. Um, and I care. I'm caring.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I'm
you have
caring.
to definitely be caring in order to want to help people out. I would
Yeah,
say you are for sure. You're definitely a caring person. So there's some good traits right there. Some good
yeah.
three of them
That
to
was a good question because I'm sitting there like,
most people get stuck on it. Like, how do you
yeah,
describe yourself? Like, I don't know. Like, I
yeah.
couldn't really tell you. But I thought that I would definitely answer that. Actually, I got another 2 questions. So do you ever listen to your own music? Like, or
It's so funny. The only time I really listen to it is before I let other people listen to it because I try to find flaws in it. I really
okay.
do. I try to find flaws. I'm like, all right. Because usually, like, I listen to the engineering part of it. So, like, if it's too high, if it's too low, if it sounds muffled, if it's not clear, like,
Stuff that us
pretty much,
common folk wouldn't know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I listen to stuff like that. Um, and once I listen to it probably about 1,000 times, then I like give it to somebody. Say, listen to this. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because you got
Who
to
do you
remember,
pick?
like,
Like, is it like
so one of
friend,
the people
wife,
that,
like who?
so my wife, I let her look at like videos.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because visually, she'll tell me what it is. She'll be like, "Hey, I don't like this part. I do like this part. It was too much of this, not enough of this," which is cool because I see you got to have people in your corner that won't let you walk outside butt naked. You know what I mean? Looking stupid and
Right.
thinking that
Everybody
everything all
crazy.
good. Yeah, looking crazy. So I got 2 people like that, and the other one is my homeboy Juice. Like I let him hear music. My brother too. Like I let him hear music. He'll be like, "Hey man, like I like it." You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
you gotta have people like that. But I do. But then after that, it's kind of the funny thing about me and music, man. It's kind of it's like kind of cringy. Like I get kind of cringy sometimes. Like sometimes
Listening
I
to
don't like
yourself.
the yeah. Like I don't really like. I don't want to mess up, even though you already heard it. I don't know. It's this weird thing. It's very weird. Like I really don't like to listen to it over and over again.
That's how I
Because
am
it
with the
just
interviews. Like I don't
yeah,
go back and listen to them because I feel like I don't like my voice. I don't like how this is. Why I do
yeah.
that? Look how I'm looking. So
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Like, I don't know if it's
I
the
think
double line
we're our
juice.
biggest
I have no
critics.
idea.
Like that's what
Yeah,
it
I
is.
don't
We
know.
are our own biggest critics. I don't think that if I did music, I would probably be listening to myself because I know for a fact that I would be like very critical of myself. Like, why did I
Very cool.
look
Yeah.
look how I sound? Now I'm not a singer. I mean I like to sing, but I can't sing. But and I
Yeah.
come from like a musical family. Like my grandfather sang for the Queen of England. He did like
Mhm,
I want to say like opera kind of music.
mhm,
My uncle was in a group, the Whatnots, local Baltimore
mhm.
group. My
Well,
aunt
that's
and
that's
all
a
of
hard
them things.
that's a hard thing. That's a hard name. The Whatnots. I like that.
Yes, yeah,
Oh,
y'all have to definitely check him out. Like his music is on
uh,
there. But my aunts and cousins, they all can sing. Like I wasn't blessed with that trait. So
let me tell you something. If I
I sing
could
in the
sing,
shower. I sound really, really
yeah,
good in the shower.
yeah, we all do. If I could sing, I would never stop singing. Like you would catch me at everybody's wedding. Like I wouldn't have a record job.
Like,
I'd
give
be
me that microphone. Come on, I got
yeah.
this.
Yep, I'm telling you, if I could sing, God, he didn't give me that. But if he did, I would be at every like he is on
I mean, you obviously
everyone's
had
wedding
something.
singing
You was in the choir
back in the day. Back in the day when
back
people,
in the
but then
day.
puberty hit, it was a wrap. Like
So people
once my
affects that?
yeah yeah oh yeah I used to
Yes, because
be
your
like a
voice.
yeah
Okay.
now it's like a baritone tenor now. Like I don't yeah
Yeah, I don't know the difference in none of that. That's why I was like, my grandfather did opera. Like, I don't know. Like
yeah
I know he sang for the Queen of England, like all of that kind of stuff. But singing is not. I love to sing,
yeah
but that's just I wasn't blessed with it. So
mhm,
unfortunately, yeah, that's how that rose. But
mhm.
but it's all good. So okay, that's good to know. You don't really listen to yourself. So I'm not the only person that'd be like, oh, cringing when I hear my voice.
Definitely
Um,
cringeworthy, man. I don't know what that is, man. I have a I did a show in Atlanta, and I have like the video footage.
mhm.
Never watched it.
Really? So
Never
do
watched it.
other people watch it and be like, oh, that show was great? Like,
I don't know. I don't even want to hear it. Like it's like I just don't.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's very crazy. Like I don't know why. Like it's just one of those things. It's very crazy. It's like I step out on the stage because it's my music and I have to do it, but
Hmm.
I don't really want to. I don't know.
But so it's
It's maybe
something
one of
in you
those.
that you kind of have to know, like you sound a certain type of way because, like I said, I was about to fall out my chair. um, you know, like your music does good, so you have to know that at some point, like it's good, but you just
Yeah.
very critical of yourself. And I believe probably like celebrities are like that too. Like I
Mhm.
think they probably just don't want to hear themselves all the time.
Yeah. I'd rather put people out in the forefront. Like if you notice my videos, like I don't have a lot of me in it. Me in them. Like if you go back and look at them, like
Hmm.
besides Resurrection, the other ones, there's other people in them. Like I like to shine the light on other people, not
Okay.
me, because I think they look good in what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like doing people feeding the homeless or helping needy kids and stuff. I really love stuff. Like, I think that's so beautiful because you know, when we help out one another. So I like to highlight things like that, spotlight things.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's always something good to put out there, people helping each, and that just shows that trait of you being a very caring person. So it doesn't just fall under the category of, okay, I care enough that I'm going to help you work out. It goes under, okay, I care enough that I'm going to help you, you know, showcase your talent or helping the homeless. I know I was not one that was into giving the homeless money. And so he was like, I was like, what if they use it for something else? If besides food, you like, but it don't matter. Like you just help them
Yeah,
out. And I was like, oh, okay.
yeah,
And I thought
yeah.
about it. I was like, okay.
So
So it
most,
felt good.
yeah, yeah, man, it does, man. Like it's so many people. Like if you really look at your situation, like we so blessed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're
for
blessed to be
sure.
able to give someone $5 or $10. You know what I mean? That means you don't need it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or you had it to give. You know
No
what I'm saying?
matter
So
where it goes.
yeah, it doesn't matter where it goes. Now,
Yeah.
if they tell you, hey man, I'm going to take this $50, I'm going to get high off of it.
I need some drugs.
Yeah, no, you don't. Say no, bro. I can't give you that. But they tell them they need to eat. You know what I mean? And you about
Yeah.
to go home to a refrigerator that's filled with your family. Y'all about to sit at the table and eat. Come on, man. Get that
Right.
$5.
So it definitely gives you a different perspective for
Yeah.
sure. When you see stuff like that. So just to kind of put this out there, I will be doing a food drive, like a food canned good foods for the homeless coming up soon. I do not have a specific date as far as when I'm doing it. I'm actually doing it with my mechanic. So you guys will be able to drop off canned goods at his shop at any point in time. So I will update you on that on my page. But just one last question, then I'm gonna let you go because you already know I can talk. Where do you see yourself in a year from now? Like, where do you see your business? Where do you see you, your family? Like, what is Will's life going to be? What is today? November the
15.
15th, 2022.
Yeah, man. Hopefully, like we'll be, you know, one of the things that me and my wife definitely want is a house.
Okay.
So that's where I definitely see myself as a homeowner this time next year. I really do. That's one of the things. Um, Another thing, just more success because I feel like I'm growing in every aspect of my life. So if I'm growing in every aspect of my life, then it's going to be more training. I'm going to be better with IT because I'm in the IT field. and the music and videography just growing more. And like I said, this time last year, I didn't know that I could do the things that I'm doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just expanding on myself. You know what I'm saying? Just all you gotta do is if I keep God first, keep things in perspective, like it'll just keep showing me different gifts that I have that I didn't know that I had prior. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So that's where I see myself.
In a year. Okay. So we will
I might be
definitely.
on. Yeah, you know what? I maybe on episode let me see, one,
Who
two, three,
knows? Look.
maybe episode 50 with you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
That's
The
what I was gonna
50th
say. We
episode, I
definitely
come
gonna be
back.
checking back in. I already have it envisioned in my head. Like I'm going to do like a year check-in with everybody, and have them on the show just to see like where they are. And so I'm pretty excited about doing that as well. Like I said, I'll be just having these ideas just pop into my head. I'm like, where did that even come from? But
It's a
a year
gift.
from now, we would, yes, I definitely view it as a gift for sure, because
Mhm.
who would have known? Like I wasn't thinking of any of this stuff. And then I started doing it, and then it just was like a snowball effect of, oh, I could do this, I could do that. Like, let me do this. Oh, it's just the possibilities are endless when you really just put your mind to something and
Yeah.
devote yourself into it. So it's definitely exciting. So in a year, we will be checking back in with you with more.
Episode number 50.
Yes, episode 50. Who knows episode? Because I'm like, I got lined up. So I mean,
Oh,
if y'all know anybody that's making a change in the community, any type of craft, singing, acting, like whatever it is, and you guys want to come on the show, definitely come my way, send them my way. Cause like I said, I have them lined up. And I envision this is how I see it. So I'm like, I've asked people, hey, be on my show. And I know people busy, but then I'm like, you know what? At some point, people gonna be coming to me like, can I be on your show? Do you want me to be on
mm,
your show? Like
that's dope.
I'm just putting that out there. Like I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna put it
Oh
out there.
yeah,
So y'all better hurry up because I'm getting busy. Like I always
yeah.
I
It's gonna
work
happen.
the
Just
same
gotta
time.
make it
I'm gonna be
plain.
booked and
Make it,
busy, okay?
yeah, make it plain. Make it plain. Just speak it into existence.
Right, exactly. You have to, definitely. But I know we got work tomorrow, so I'm definitely not gonna hold you up any longer. I truly, truly appreciate you not only
Mm.
for doing this with me, but just for helping me out just in general with the health and things like that. And I will talk to you later. I will see you at the gym tomorrow. Getting it in.
See you.
See ya.